late 80s brought along many technological achievements, including this look, a battery-powered vacuum cleaner. Yes, the Vax Vaxet is full of fingerprints, but a bit polished, a bit more clean, and it works really well as well. Yes, the battery has arrived. This is in the side of here. Let's see how a Vaxet holds up in 2021. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yes, this is the Vax 601 or A03, I think 601 is where we need to be. And yes, it is fixed and working quite well. It even has some suction, which is quite frankly astonishing. What else have we? Well, the floor tool cleaned up okay, but it is a very basic style suction tool, and in here I have reapplied some new foam seals for this part to push into and seal itself down nicely. And yes, it now is okay. I found out how to take the handle off for future reference. It is that machine screw there, and the handle in all of its telescopic glory comes off very well. And this is it really. This is all I have, bar the charger, which is over here. And when I plug it in, nothing explodes and the light comes on, and it does seem to charge, but the battery seems to have a very good amount of charge in it already. It is 6 point something volts. We can use it as it is. Let's put down a little bit of mess and see just how well the Vaxet can vax it up. Well, in order to do a little test, I have somewhere, where have I put it? Here it is, a little competitor in the shape of my Dyson V11, which is all the way up here, and a straight suction floor head. Because of course, yes, the V11 would kick this in backside with its light torque head attached to it. But we're from an era before vacuum cleaners, or cordless vacuum cleaners, had brush roll. Vax did have a second Mark II variant of this that had a little turbo head. But of course, yeah, the V11 does kick things up a notch with its turbo head, and it does make it very good indeed. So I thought I would hobble it a little bit with a straight suction cleaner, because it should still do very well. I mean, even in its automatic setting, it's going to have 300-400 watts of power. The Vaxet has 30. Is any of this a valid improvement? Well, let's have a look. All of a sudden, they are about the same. Obviously, without its fancy floor head on, the Dyson V11 is indeed pretty terrible. I mean, in boost it is way better, but still relies on the airflow. This isn't much better really. I mean, it's probably okay for not having lots of sawdust, but yeah, it's not bad. It's just so rare. It's what makes me love it. Yeah, the V11 is certainly winning on airflow, but even with this Miele floor head, which isn't the best Miele floor head, I have to say, it's very light and flows around, but it's still it's not fab. You do really need the light torque head for the Dyson V11 to be any good at all. Otherwise, it is just another cordless piece of rubbish, which is what this is. This just happens to be quite rare because they are pretty much impossible to find. And after spending £15 on the new battery that is in here, I now have myself a fully working vacuum cleaner, one of which I haven't seen since I was a little boy, and quite frankly, I should have perhaps left it that way. I should have perhaps left it that way, because although this is a beautiful thing and certainly very, very rare, way rarer than one of these, it works. Look, it's even got the same font. Ugh. It's obviously now going to be full of sawdust if we take off the sellotape, which I put on before filming this video so that we can take the broken bin off. Oh, come on, there we go. We can see that, yeah, this is the motor unit. And from here, there's a little wobble. I can't take the fan off to really rebuild the motor, but the motor doesn't need a rebuild really. Here is the filter, which is going to be covered, oh yes, look at that, in sawdust. It's picked up a fair amount though. I mean, bless it, it's done fairly well. Look, we can clean off this. This has been washed. It's just, I mean, my V11 filter's doing this from just use. All the fluff is coming off the thing. Oh, but it's certainly cleaner and better than it was. There was still and is still some dirt trapped way back there because, quite honestly, I cannot really do much about it. And looking at the anti-flap thing, it's fairly torn and isn't going to be working quite as well as perhaps it might, but it'll work well enough for now. Just like to blow stuff out of these side vents. Oh, there we go. That's enough sawdusty fun. Let's wrap up. So there we go, my little eBay splurge has landed me a very rare, if fairly pathetic, cordless vacuum cleaner. And well, this is the almost latest Dyson. It's not the outsize, it is just the V11 normal, which is the same motor and such as the outside. So I can class it as possibly the current retail pinnacle. I've no doubt better machines exist deep away in research and development labs, but cordless cleaners never were great. Obviously this is a lead acid battery in a machine that produces just 30 watts of power with a old style brushed motor. Obviously this has up to 500 watts in various forms and is bagless, but neither are fab, obviously without this one having its specific head. It is pretty much just a low-powered suction unit, and I think cordless vacuum cleaners never really replaced corded back in the day, and don't think they can quite replace corded now, although they are so much better than they were. So we have ourselves a little piece of history here. And I mean, this thing charges at, I think, I don't actually know what the charge of it, 25.2 volts, and this, and you know, who knows how many amps one of these will suck. This just has a little tiny, it's still a 12 volt 1 amp, it was a 12 volt half amp, but obviously we've made it fixed thanks to Netgear. I presume it charges, the light comes on. It was pushing voltage into the old battery. I measured it, it obviously wasn't going very far with it once it was done. But yeah, 1988 to 2019, how things have changed. And perhaps not as well as they could have done, although this, if you held this out to somebody who just bought this in 1988, 1989, they would look at you like you were crazy. How things move on. But yeah, I have my little Vaxet all working, all looking lovely. There are still a few missing tools for it, but I'm not going to bother trying to find those. I think that would just be very, very pointless. And I'm happy with what I have, which is a very rare vacuum compared to how absolutely dirt common the 121 and such like were. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Did you have any old retro cordless vacuums? Obviously the Black & Decker Dustbuster should make a fair number of people comment, because that's still classed as a cordless vacuum cleaner. Black & Decker ran better than Vax did with it, but obviously for Vax's first try, it has to be applauded. There was a second generation of this which had a turbo head, and then it all went away. I don't think Vax did any real cordless machines until they kicked it all off again fairly recently with the air cordless range, and so on and such forth. Look at where we are today. But it all started in Droitwich via China with this, the Vax Vaxet. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I, and possibly this Vaxet, will see you soon. Bye bye.